Words. There we go. So to kick things off, I'm going to turn it over to Ina Gibson, our Director of Membership and Marketing. Ina?
Hello, everyone. I'm, as Jana mentioned, Ina Gibson, Director of Membership and Marketing, and I am excited about today's Growing Your Connection. We have 6 region reps or their representative, as well as 2 national chairs that are going to talk about 2 national events. We are all gathered here to hear about all the wonderful, wonderful events that are happening around the country in 2027, sponsored by either a region of EGA or 2 national events, including one that's brand new and is very exciting because it's going all virtual. So, without further ado, let me turn this back to Jana, who will then have each of our region reps come on. We do ask that you hold your questions for each region representative till the end of all the region presentations. But go.
Okay, here we go. And our first one up is from the Sun region, and that will be Stephanie Murray. Stephanie, here
Hey,
we
how
go.
are you? Hey, welcome to the presentation. Um, I am Stephanie Murphy. I am from Sun Region, home of the EGA National Seminar in Orlando. So hope to see you there. But today I have brand new news that is just hot off the presses. The ink's not even dry yet. Just letting you know that our Sun Region board has approved a cruise for next year, and it is so exciting. We are celebrating, Sun Region is celebrating our 50th anniversary. And one of our featured activities is going to be a stitch-in cruise. So if you can only imagine spending 5 days, 4 nights, Caribbean cruise, stitching away, no food prep, no cleanup, no making the bed. You don't have to you can get off the ports or don't get off the ports. We'll have make and takes. We'll just have lots of fun times with our friends, making new friends. We'll have a breakout stitch-in room, so we won't be bothered by other people. Of course, there might be imbibing happening. Be as active or as inactive as you want. I just wanted to have you save the date, think about it, and we'll have more information on it on the Sun Region Facebook page. All right, and I'll be sending it out on the EGA Stitch Along and all those other places too, as soon as we work out the registration fees. All right, thank you so much. And it's back to Jana.
Thank you, Deb. And I'm going to bring on Gail Smith, who is from the Carolinas region. So, Gail, you are next up. Ready? And you
Sorry
were mute.
about that.
Yes.
Yes. I'm Gail Smith. I am the Region Director for the Carolinas region. We have events planned or in the planning stage for the remainder of 2026 and going into 2027. What you see in front of you is a notebook class that will be taught by Leslie Brady at our fall retreat to be held the end of September, the 25th through the 27th in Rock Hill, South Carolina at the La Quinta Hotel. It is not a project class, it is a notebook class, and everybody seems to be very excited for it. Registration closes September 10th. However, hotel reservations close on the 1st of September. The brochure is on our website at egacarolinas.org, and the title is CAR Fall Retreat 2026. In 2027, our spring retreat will be held the end of April at Rock Hill. We try to do our retreats the end of April and the end of September. However, we don't have a hotel because there's hotel renovations going on for spring. But stand by because the registration should open early January for our April event. September is going to be something new and different. The Charleston Museum has been working for about 2 years on a special project, and it's titled Suist of South Carolina's Past and Present. Mind you, Suist is a made-up word. But what happened was that 30 of my stitchers in this region got together with the museum, and the museum brought out historical textiles. and the stitchers looked at them and figured out which one spoke to them. And they either did their own interpretation, or they did a reproduction, or they found that one little thing in a piece, be it a purse, a coat, a whatever, that spoke to them, and they stitched their own piece. And the museum's display opens the early April of 2027 and goes until February of 2028, I believe it is. So in the fall, we will be down in Charleston with the sole purpose of going to see the display to see what the stitchers have made. And that will be registration for the fall retreat of 2027 will open up in July of 2027. Everything will be found on our website. There you go.
All right. Thank you, Gail. And next up is going to be Nancy Crow from the Heartland region. So, Nancy?
Okay. I'll wait for the PowerPoint.
It's coming.
Okay. Yes, I am Nancy Crow from the Heartland region, and that's my contact information. Next slide. I want to invite everybody to the Heartland Region Seminar, which will be April 30th to May 2nd, 2027, at the Venue Event Center in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Cedar Falls is a twin city of Waterloo, Iowa. If you know where that is, it's in the northeast quadrant of Iowa. It's a 3-day seminar on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, hosted by the Prairie Rose chapter, and their theme is Stitching Among the Prairie Roses. Next slide. Next. Registration is currently open, and it closes January 31st of 2027. It's open to any EGA member, either in the Heartland region or another region, and it's also open to members at large. And for a special fee, even non-members of EGA can come to our event. The last few seminars, I know that there have been members from other regions at our seminar, and they seem to enjoy our 3-day seminar. At the bottom of this slide, that is the website where you can find the registration form and the brochure, or you can just Google Heartland Region EGA to get to our webpage and then click on the events tab, and you will find that registration form and brochure. Next. We're really excited to have these 3 wonderful teachers for the 2027 seminar: Carrie Bay, Karen Wallach, and Eileen Bennett. Next. Okay. Terry Bay classes. She's going to teach a 1-day class on Friday. It's called the Lotus Drop. And the Lotus Drop, you can make it into a small, teeny tiny lotus box, or you can flip it over and put a cord and a charm on it and make it into an ornament. Its stitches are pulled thread and Ukrainian whitework. On Saturday and Sunday, Terry Bay will teach the class Coloring Outside the Line. She's branching out a little bit. We all know her as the Hardanger teacher, and this piece has elements of Hardanger, but it also includes elements of Veticello and Punta Antico. Both of these classes will be stitched on 28 count linen. Next. Eileen Bennett will be teaching 3 1-day classes. On Friday, she will be teaching another alphabet sampler, and this features ornate antique alphabet. Stitches used in this project are from 17th century samplers, and it includes an around the neck pouch that will be in the kit. She'll also be teaching how to finish this piece by attaching the embroidered piece to the pouch, which is a zippered pouch that you can wear around your neck and put your stitching supplies in, or your needlework tools, I should say. On Saturday, she will be teaching Strawberries and Cream Needlebook. This piece is stitched with backstitch, road stitch, queens and half queens, and 12 different pulled thread stitches. This piece is actually being taught at the National Seminar in Orlando this year, but if you didn't get a chance to take that class there, you can come to Cedar Falls to our seminar and take the class. On Sunday, she will be teaching the black and white sampler. This sampler includes 25 bands of designs popular in the 16th and 17th centuries. Students can choose either the running double running stitch, which is total reversible, or the back stitch method. She will be teaching both. Next. Karen Wallach's class will be a 3-day class, and she will be teaching a traveling sewing case. This includes the case. I should say it's wool applique. And it includes the case and also a scissor sleeve, a needle book, thimble box, tape measure keychain, a pin basket, and a pin cushion. So it's super, super cute coordinated items there for a sewing kit. Next slide. Okay, there's the URL again. Registration is with classes and meals both. So all the meals are included in your registration. And the bin venue is directly attached to the Holiday Inn, which will be the hotel for this event. And it's at a reasonable price of $149. So I hope you will consider joining us in Cedar Falls, Iowa on April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd of next year, 2027. Back to Jana.
Okay, well, thank you. That's going to be really exciting. And we're going to go to Deb Damrell from the New England region. Deb?
Hey, everyone. As Jana said, my name is Deb Damrell. I'm the Assistant Region Director of the New England region and responsible for education. And I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you today to let you know what's happening in the New England region, both this year and next. And I invite, just ahead of time, I invite everyone to join us on all of these events. So start marking your calendars now. So the first event I want to talk to you about is our Region Day, which is coming up in just under a month, Saturday, September 19th. And this is a virtual event via Zoom. We'll start at 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time and run to about 1:30. And we have 3 fun events that we're going to be sharing in Region Day. The first is a lecture and slideshow about the Plymouth Tapestry. And this is with Donna Curtin. Donna is the executive director of the Pilgrim Society and the Pilgrim Hall Museum in Plymouth. Now, some of you might have stitched on some of the panels of the tapestry. You might have seen some. Panels I've seen are just absolutely gorgeous. So we're looking forward to hearing more from Donna about this. Next, Alexandrina Dordea, who is a very talented embroidery artist from Romania, is going to join us to demonstrate tambour embroidery. There's a lot of interest in the New England region on tambour, what it is and how to do it. So Alexandra is going to walk us through it and take our questions and teach everybody a little bit about tambour. And then finally, we're going to have a preview of our region seminar coming up in 2027 that I'm going to talk to you about in just a minute with some teacher interviews and registration information. So if you're interested in joining us for our New England Region Day 2026, all of the details and the registration link are on our website, ner-ega.org, on the events page. And I hope you all will join us. And I had mentioned our seminar. Our region seminar is next May in Burlington, Vermont. And our theme is Needles and Blooms, celebrating 50 years of NER-EGA. Now, we're not going on a cruise. However, we are going to have fun in Burlington, and there is a big lake there. So if nothing else, we could go boating on the lake. Our region seminar is what I'm going to call a flexible registration. You can register to attend 1, 2, or all 3 days of seminar. We are featuring 1- and 2-day in-person classes, a fun, tour of the Shelburne Museum, studio time for those of you like me who have lots of projects in progress and don't want any more unfinished ones. We have some lectures I'm going to tell you about, member needlework and crazy quilt exhibits, merchandise night, opportunity baskets, and more. So let me tell you just a little bit more about the classes. We are featuring 7 one-day classes, and there is at least one-day class each day of seminar. Dawn Donnelly is going to be teaching her Bargello C canvas piece. And in this class, the students will have the opportunity to make their own shells, as you see in the photo, out of handmade paper. Canby Robertson is presenting a technique class. So many of us, we could probably all raise our hands, have pieces we've stitched but haven't finished because we just get stuck. So she's going to teach some tips on how to finish surface embroidery pieces. And again, this is a technique class, so the pictures you see are just representative of the technique she's going to be teaching. And then Jane Macinas, who is from Vermont, is going to lead people through construction and embellishment of their own customized crazy quilt wall hanging. And Jane is a very talented crazy quilter herself. She'll have some of her quilts on display. In addition, Janet Salerno is going to join us, and her first one-day class is Isla. It is a beginner level counted thread class on linen, and she'll also be teaching her very popular these days Ode to Sudoku. And we've seen this as an online studio class, and I think the Mid-Atlantic region is going to talk about this one also. So obviously this is a popular class for beginning counted thread stitchers, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. Chris Andrews, another Vermont embroiderer, is joining us to teach her Froggy Curio Box sampler. This is a surface embroidery and dimensional embroidery class on linen, and it depicts the life cycle of the frog. And our final one-day class, if you will, is a one-day museum tour at the Shelburne Museum. It is a private gallery tour of the exhibit On Point, Needlework from the Garthwaite Family Collection. And this is an exhibit of Vermont schoolgirl embroideries, and it includes samplers, silk on silk embroideries, sewing boxes, memorials, family records, and more. And our guide for the Shelburne Museum tour will be Ellen Thompson, who volunteers for the Vermont Sampler Initiative. We also have 3 two-day classes we're offering at Needles and Blooms. The first with Barbara Ellis, who will be teaching this beautiful queen bee bead embroidery necklace. Dawn Donnelly will be teaching her snow-drifted pathways. And this is an opportunity for canvas stitchers or any students to combine a variety of fibers, handmade paper, and some very interesting stitches to create your own snowstorm. If you look closely, you might even see a few snowballs in that picture. And then our third two-day class, is Canby Robertson, again presenting a technique class. And this class is all about soft shading and crewel embroidery. So if you ever wanted to learn more or perfect your techniques in soft shading, this is the class for you. I mentioned lectures before. Each day of seminar will have a lecture in the late afternoon. On Thursday, to kick off our seminar, Ellen Thompson, who was with us, will be with us on the Shelburne tour, will talk about our New England heritage, samplers and embroideries of the Vermont Sampler Initiative. On Friday, Tricia Wilson-Wynn will speak about embroidery up close, or as she says, as I see it. And on Saturday, Sally Maver will present a lecture titled Once Upon a Stitch, and she will also be doing a book signing. One of the things I want to mention about the lectures is you do not have to be registered for seminar to attend a lecture. Lecture tickets are $10. They're open to anyone. So if you find yourself in Burlington next May, mark your calendars and join us for a lecture if the seminar doesn't work out on your schedule. So again, Needles and Blooms, celebrating 50 years of NER EGA, is next May in Burlington, Vermont. We invite all of you to join us, chapter members, members at large, members of the public. Everyone is welcome to register for our region seminar in Burlington. We hope you'll join us for 3 days of stitching fellowship and fun. And the details are being built as we speak on our region website on the Region Seminar Central page. One more thing I wanted to mention just briefly while I have your attention is one more thing we're doing in New England is what we call PhD stitch-ins. And this is a way to get everybody together informally, originally to start to help answer some stitching questions, thus the PhD for the help desk aspect. But it's also a way to encourage our members to finish their works in progress or their PhDs, projects half done. We hold 2 sessions via Zoom each month on the third Friday morning and the fourth Sunday afternoon. So yes, excuse me, that means the next one is tomorrow afternoon. So please join us. All the links are on our website. And when I ask people why they attend, they mention the dedicated stitching time. They really like to learn what others are stitching, see what others are stitching, and maybe add to their stash list. And they appreciate people sharing tips and resources. So thank you very much for letting me join everyone today and share what's going on in the New England region. All of the events I've talked about that are listed here on the slide, as I said, they're open to everyone, chapter members, members at large, etc. All of our events are promoted on our website through our chapters, and we do also have a monthly newsletter that you can register for on our website. We welcome all of you to join us in New England. Thank you very much, and back to Jana.
I have one question for you. With those
Yes.
3 lectures, you said those were on the last day of the seminar?
The lectures, there's one lecture on each day, Thursday,
on each
Friday,
day.
and Saturday.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we'll have to mark our calendars for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Next up, we have Sandra Scribner, who is from the Rocky Mountain region. So Sandra, you were on.
Okay, well, welcome everyone.
Whoops,
And-
got the wrong person highlighted. I apologize for that. Sorry, Darlene. Go ahead, Sandra. You're good to go.
Yes, welcome. Yes, I'm Sandra Scribner. I'm the Assistant Region Director from Rocky Mountain Region. However, I'm also the seminar chair for this event that I'm going to share with you. We have an event, the Gym of a Weekend, and it's in Boise, Idaho, and Boise is the gym state. So we're going to be having it the same weekend, believe it or not, May 13th through 16th in Boise, Idaho, at the Riverside Hotel, which is on the Boise River. We have lots of different things going on. We have teachers from the region, and we have national teachers as well that will be teaching with us. We're going to have surface embroidery, crazy quilting, counted canvas, mixed media, black work, finishing, and stump work. So we have a number of classes. And I want to talk a little bit about, yes, we're going to be at the Riverside Hotel there. And it starts registration on a Thursday afternoon. That afternoon, we also have a trolley tour of Boise that will be going on that afternoon. And that evening, we are having a meet and greet. The hotel is a wonderful place. It has free shuttles to and from the airport. It's only 15 minutes from the airport. Plus, they'll give you a shuttle wherever you want to go. So, very accommodating place to go. We're featuring something called Take Home a Program, which is a free region-sponsored workshop led by Mary Lehman. I think she got this idea from the Mid-Atlantic region, who has done this before also. And one representative from each chapter may come and do this free workshop that the region is sponsoring and paying for. And with the understanding that you will take this project back to your chapter and teach it within that year. We have full day and half day classes. Unfortunately, our first class I have listed here, the teacher died on Tuesday. And so we are working right now on replacing her class. So this one is not a go right now, but we will have another replacement class listed on the website. Our registration starts this September 1st, which is only a little bit away. So we will have the new information about that class at that point. We have Becky Nolan. She is working teaching a one-day class on this embroidered stitch diary that includes working on perf paper and personalizing it and putting it all together. We have Debbie Raleigh. She will be doing two different classes, one on Friday and one on Saturday. The first one's called Garnet Opulence. This is canvas, and it's quite a beautiful project along with her Starburst Square. So these are both canvas and one-day classes. We have another one with Carolyn Standing Webb. She is going to be doing a finishing class for smalls. This will include, she will have a pre-work on these pieces, and then the people will get together at the class and do the finishing on it. She is also doing a class called Mariposa, which is a combination of techniques. It's three-dimensional elements with wired stump work. And then we have half-day classes. This one's going to be replaced because this is the teacher, our culture teacher, who died on Tuesday. So as I said, we have a replacement class that we'll be putting in here in the next few days before registration begins. Then we have some half-day classes, more half-day classes. We have an introduction to slow stitching, which is focuses on slow stitching and sashiko and crazy quilting and all in one project. Then we have an embroidery class with this Sweets for the Sweets. Looks like a candy box. And this is embroidery with embellishments. And it's made with fabric and thread with soft sculptures. Then Becky Noland is going to be doing an embroidered tape measure. That's information about the teachers. We'll have a prospectors exhibit of original or adaptations. We are going to have a smalls exchange, a silent auction, a merchandise night, and there's only one registration fee, and it includes an open stitching room. So whenever you could technically register and only do open stitching if that's what you require. So our registration fee for, let's see if it's in the brochure here. Okay, EGA members, $95 for the weekend. Non-EGA, non-RMR members would be $105, and non-EGA members, because we'll take people who are not EGA, it's $145. And as I said, that includes the weekend and our meet and greet. So we will be starting registration September 1st on this event. And that's it.
Thank you. There's a lot to consider there.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to switch over now to Darlene LeBeouf, who is the region director for the Mid-Atlantic region. Darlene?
Hi,
And
I'm happy to be here today. I've seen a lot of cool projects. Some you're going to see again in my presentation, but I really hope you'll consider coming to the Mid-Atlantic region next June 16th through 20th in Fairfax, Virginia. Let me share the little presentation I have for you today. We're calling it the Stitcher's Great Escape, and it's so you can move along your creative journey. That's why we're all here. So we are pretty excited about this. We have a lot of great classes planned. Why are we not moving? Hitting the go button. Good thing we practiced.
it always happens when it's inconvenient.
Yes, it does. And I'm the end of the line here. So I think, let's see. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I didn't have to bang it. So I wanted to share some information about these classes. We have some fabulous teachers coming. What you see here on the left are the two classes that Ann Strike Kurtz is going to present to us. We have that cute little Scotty. That piece is called Wishful Thinking, and that's a 3-day class, as well as it on Counted Thread. And we also have her Kurumi, I believe it's called, down at the lower level. Both adorable pieces, and she is a longtime EGA teacher, and we're excited to get her. Over on the right, we have Chris Andrews' classes. Chris is just a great teacher, very laid back, and really encourages her students to make the designs their own. On the left, you see her butterfly curio box, which is stump work piece. That butterfly is stump work as well as some of the other components of it. And that will be a 2-day class. And then she is also teaching the Streamside Garden over to the right there. That's a 3-day class. So that is primarily surface embroidery. And again, I think there's a lot of opportunity here to make these pieces your own. Next up, we have some classes with Canby Robertson. So Canby is doing a variety of techniques. She has the butterfly and blue bonnets, which is a crewel piece, as well as down at the lower left side, you see the scallop needle book. That is an actual scallop shell that she procures and cleans and gets ready. So that looks to be a very unique piece that I think if you don't keep it for yourself, you know where to send it. So that looks like a fun piece. And finally, she is going to teach a 2-day class with a 6-sided folding Orts box. She has done similar Orts boxes before, but this design is just a bit different. So that's pretty exciting as well. And that is surface embroidery. Over on the right, we have 3 different crewel pieces from Carol Currier. And you can see that they're all just a little bit different, but the spring blossom, which I believe is the one at the bottom, if I remember correctly, that is for basic crewel needle artists. If you're not sure where you want to start, she could get you going on this. Crewel's a lot of fun to work with. We also have some other well-known teachers. We have Jane Ellen Balswhite, who is going to teach 3 different techniques. On the far left, you see the pulled thread, the Casaguidi piece, Home of the Bees. These pictures really don't do it too much justice. It's a box, and what we've got are some detailed pictures of close-ups of the edge of the box and the top of the box, but it's a cool piece. She is also going to teach the flower shop. So I think I have taken a class with her and seen that she has done a similar piece, but this one is just a tad bit different, and it looks pretty inviting. And that is done with ribbon embroidery. And finally, she's also teaching in the lower right corner a pulled thread piece, of 7th century flower Dresden lace. In the center of the screen, you see classes from Janet Salerno. Those top two items are beadwork that are called My Lady's Bag Necklace, which gives you a little pocket to hold your little sewing things or a little bit of cash in. But that is all beadwork. On Friday, she will be teaching the Ode to Sudoku, which we've seen earlier in the presentation today. But the cool thing I like about this is you can either follow her guidelines or you can work up the Sudoku first and then stitch it. So for all you Sudoku fans, that might be a project that never gets done. And finally, in the lower left there, she has a Hardanger piece, which is called Nordic Star. So pretty piece, and it's considered to be at the intermediate level. Over to the far right, we have Curdy Biggs, and she's got the Santa Breeze, which is obviously the one in the middle there. And all of her pieces are canvas work. We have the Prospector Gnome as well. And then she has Jarvis, which is that kind of octopusy looking thing there. So we have those pieces. And then we have some teachers either, well, they're all new to MAR as teachers. So Karen Wallach, we've seen her earlier today, but these pieces are a little bit different. So she has the traveling sewing case, but it's a little bit different design than we saw earlier. She has the Hexagon Adventure, which is a one-day class, which is surface embroidery. And then the Stitcher sidekicks are wool applique pieces similar to kind of marry up with the sewing case if you choose. In the center, we have two ladies who are wonderful teachers, and they go by the name of Through the Needle's Eye. They teach wool applique and ribbon work, and we're excited to have them join us for the first time. So over in the upper right corner, we have Marcia's Flowers, which is a wool applique piece. And then we have Floral Elegance, which is in the left side, and that is primarily ribbon work with wool applique, but those flowers are use wired ribbons, and that's a lot of fun to do. And then finally, we have the Wildflower piece in the lower left, which again is a little bit of wool applique, but mostly embroidery and ribbon work. And then on the far right, we have a selection of beading classes from Kathy Lulai. The lower left is Cat's Treasure Pendant. And then on the right, we have the Moss Garden. And then in the upper left, we have Chain Reaction, which is bead weaving. And it's a little bit hard to tell in this picture, but those are 3 or 4 different shades of beads out there. So that should be a lot of fun to work on as well. Now, we have some virtual classes. We have 4 classes that we're offering. We have Jennifer Reifenberg's The Heron, which has been pretty popular throughout the region. And then in the center, we have 2 classes from Clara Warschauer, Gator in the Swamp and the Cardinal. And we think this Cardinal is going to be so popular, we're offering it twice. And I think it's a good thing we did because registration has shown that it's pretty popular. And finally, we have Deborah Mitek's Apollo's Favorite, which is a great little piece of counted work and ribbon work. And having taken it at seminar in Dallas last year, it was a blast to work on, and it's beautiful ribbon work and the different threads. I really, really recommend that class as well. Along with the classes, we have a couple of tours that we're offering. So nearby, we have the Woodlawn and Pope Leahy houses. Woodlawn was Martha Washington's granddaughter's residence, Nellie Custis Lewis, and she was a magnificent embroiderer. And each year, Woodlawn sponsors a needlework exhibit for the month of March, where they fill this mansion top ceiling to floor with exhibits that people enter for competition. And it's just an inspiring time. But this will be the mansion will be closed to the public this day, so it will be open to just seminar attendees. It's on Wednesday, the day before seminar starts, so you can roam through the mansion, take a look. You'll see some of Nellie's works. And then right next door is the Pope Lighthouse, which is a Frank Lloyd Wright creation that was moved there some years ago. So that's interesting in and of itself. We are offering on Friday a tour of Mount Vernon, which was George and Martha Washington's home. And we're going to have a special tour for seminar attendees only of the Textile Collection Center. That is pretty exciting to me. I mean, that's not something you're ever going to see, but you'll have the opportunity to spend the day, walk through the mansion, the grounds, the flower gardens, and of course, take in this textile collection. Oh, and we have other stuff going on too. So we have a merchandise night, we have a huge book sale, we have opportunity baskets, we have these cool little fundraiser items that you see pictured here. And I'm sure we'll come up with a few other things between now and then. So these are the details again. Registration is currently open for MAR members, and we will open on October 9th for non-MAR and non-EGA members. All of this information in a lot greater detail is available on our website, marega.org, where you can click on the region events and see the brochure in full, see these projects up close. And we have the seminar registrar information, the email that Jana will share with you should you have any further questions. Or you're always welcome to contact me, and my information is on the region website as well. Back to you, Jana.
We need to have you stop your share. There we go.
Yeah, I know.
I know it's always a juggling act. And before we get too much further, there is one question in the chat from Pamela suggesting that at the end or in the summary email, could the regional ladies provide the website addresses if they haven't previously? Have I got an email for you? And we all took a look at it to make sure information was correct. You will get an email. It'll come directly from me, and it will contain contact information for each of our region folks and our national presenters. And it will also contain links as well as handouts, documents. So I think you'll find most of it in there. But in the meantime, that's the only question that I am seeing relating to the region. We will take questions later again. If you have other questions about the ones about national that are coming up, please put those into the Q&A. So in the meantime, I'm going to turn this over to Ina. Ina?
Hello again, everyone. Well, if only my budget was as big as my needle, because all of those look great, and I would love to attend each and every one of them. If we could. Now we have two national events that we will tell you about. One of which I am personally very excited about. And Lori Welker, the National Seminar Chair, is here to tell you all about EGA's first virtual event. Lori, you're on.
Hello. So I'm very excited to talk to you about Winter Stitch. Based on member feedback, okay, I got the same problem. It won't advance.
Try putting your cursor in the lower left corner.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Based on our member feedback, it's been clear that our members are looking for more virtual opportunities. So we decided to start with something small. So we've got 5 faculty with 5 classes. Some of the other things in addition to the classes, we've planned stitch-alongs so that those members in a particular class can continue to stitch together after the class is concluded to try and keep your momentum going and ensure that that class gets finished and not another one of your whips. We're also going to have a general session on January 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern to kick off Winter Stitch. We'll have some faculty that will be able to join us live, others will be videotaped, and then we will also be highlighting other educational opportunities. I would say the one challenge in planning this first virtual event is how to include some of these social aspects that you would have in a face-to-face seminar. So we're still using our imagination and trying to come up with maybe at least one more thing to add to the social part of Winter Stitch. So as I said, we have 5 classes. First up, we have Holly Bean. We specifically chose Holly Bean because her seahorse bag in Orlando sold out. We asked her to specifically design a bag that would go along and support our theme. And I love what she came up with the Starry Night bag. This is stitched on a star printed cork. It is bead embroidery. It's considered beginner to intermediate. This will have 2 Zoom sessions of 4 hours each, including a break, and they're a couple weeks apart, so you will have time to stitch before you have the second class. I've personally had Zoom classes with Holly, and she does a great job. Next, we have Curdy Biggs with her Edelweiss. This is a counted canvas piece. It's a little ornament that really has a wintry look to me. This class will have 2 sessions at an hour each. If the class feels they need one more session, a third session will be scheduled. Kat Dogood and her Christmas tree. We chose this class because this was the single most registered class in Orlando. This had a fairly long wait list. So we thought there would be more people wanting to take it. This class uses both metal embroidery and beading. This class will be 2 sessions of 2.5 hours each. And Kat Dogood is another one that I can say I've taken virtual classes with her, and she does an excellent job with virtual. Next is Chrissy Juno Mann out of the UK. This class is the Goldwork Bee. It is targeted for a confident beginner or embroiderer with some experience. Most of you may not be familiar with Chrissy. She has a master's in conservation and restoration of the decorative arts. She is also trained at the Royal School, and she serves as a tutor for the Royal School. So this class involves traditional goldwork techniques as well as the thorax of the bead, actually beads. So I thought that looked very interesting. This class will have 4 Zoom sessions, 2 hours each. And Chrissy tried to pick times that could be convenient for those of our working members. And the times are convenient for the US, not for Chrissy. And then we have Cora Warshauer, who has become very popular in the last few years. She taught at Dallas at our national seminar last year, as well as the international teacher tour that was very successful. The color changing chameleon ornament is a goldwork and stumpwork. This is designed for advanced to intermediate students. This will be 2 Zoom sessions, 7 hours with a hour lunch break included. So registration opens September 22nd at noon Eastern and will close on October 14th. For all the pricing information and further details, you can go to the EGA website under events and look for Winter Stitch. So I'll give it back to Jana.
Oh, I think I'm going to be in a lot of trouble with that. All right, Pam Brummett, and I hope I'm saying her last name correctly, is the chair of the 2027 Tucson seminar. She has all kinds of stuff to show us. So Pam, are you ready to go?
I am.
Here we go.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm looking forward to sharing all the information we have on our national seminar. It's going to be September 15th through the 19th. And it's going to be in Tucson, Arizona at Lowe's Ventana Canyon Resort. Okay, mine's not moving forward either here. Let's see.
Yeah, again, get your cursor in the lower left. There should be buttons that will help you advance. There's one right
There
there.
we are. Okay. This is a list of all the different classes. Classes will begin on Wednesday, the 15th and end on September 19th. And you'll have a handout that'll give you all this information. Are you seeing all the pictures here? I'm going to get rid of the,
Yeah, we're good.
okay.
Pam, you were muted.
We seem to
Pam.
have lost Pam.
Yeah, Pam, you were muted.
Okay, sorry.
There we go.
There we are. So Terry Bay is going to be doing sheer tear, which is how to get over the fear of cutting threads. Contessa is a Ukrainian whitework design, and then Twist is a fusion design combining hardanger and punte on chico, and those are the three classes she'll be teaching. Our next teacher is, well, let's see here. There we go. Holly Bean is going to be teaching three classes on beading necklaces. The first is Sedona Sunrise, which is going to be a cabochon necklace, and then Apache Bloom pocket necklace, which will be a pocket that you're going to be embroidering that can fit credit cards and room keys. And then Tucson is a necklace, and it has exchangeable cabochons for you for that. Oop, what did I do here? Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Okay, next is Sean Brown. Here we are. And Sean has designed a Southwestern seam ripper and it's an introduction to peyote stitch. So another beading class for you. Cecilia DeBouton Campbell is teaching Little Boy Eagle and A Day in Nogales, Mexico, La Roca Scene. We don't have a picture yet of the Little Boy Eagle, but this is going to be a surface embroidery project. And then the Day in Nogales is a scene from Nogales, which is only about an hour from Tucson, and it's a famous restaurant there. And you can see the depiction of the restaurant there in the picture. Mindy Cannon is going to be doing a rose ornament pin cushion, and this is a surface embroidery and floral detail. And then she's also teaching April Showers, which is a whimsical embroidered design, and fuchsia and hummingbirds, which are hummingbirds are very popular out in Tucson. There's a lot of them out there. And so she's got a design for that. Sandy Cremasi Bowles is going to be doing a beautiful desert-inspired frame weight, and we have a picture of that here for you. And it'll be a commemorative from the national seminar and a good memory for you. And then she's also doing desert blooms. We had to change her original design because of trouble getting threads and materials that she needed for that. So she's come up with this beautiful prickly pear cactus that's going to be a depiction of a desert scene. Kate Festo is doing Fluttering Serenity, and this is Japanese silk that's going to be has the butterfly on it. And then Explorations, which is, I'm going to mess this up, Rosashi, Japanese stitching. And then Fire Flowers is a peach that's going to be on canvas cloth and has metal and silk embroidery on it. Toni Gertis is doing her Under a Copper Moon, which is a total lunar eclipse and a mountain scene. And Desert Sun, which is over the desert and the hot sun. Right now it's over 100 in Tucson. So by September, it won't be that hot. And then we have our only holiday project, the Mary from Tony, which is a Santa's hat. Bonnie Heidler is going to be teaching a class on tamari balls, and this is going to actually be from starting from nothing. We're not going to start with a styrofoam ball or anything, but you'll actually start from nothing and work your way up into a beautiful tamari ball. Pat Olsky is doing a silk ribbon cushion, and this is another floral design on linen. And then she's also doing a buscornu on a with a docet button center. And both of those are very beautiful. Melinda Schubring is doing a reversible Rudolph. I just show the front picture of this, but when you see the pictures on the website, the Rudolph is actually reversible. So the front and the back look exactly the same. And then Frankenfloral is a depiction of a 16th and early 17th century England piece. Then we have Laura Smith is doing 2 classes for us, one on Sabina Canyon, exploring design and color, and the other is 17 ways to transfer a design. And I tossed in a few pictures here just so you can see how beautiful Sabina Canyon is. And it's like 5 minutes from where the hotel that we're staying at is. So it's definitely where you can probably go and see Savannah Canyon for yourself. Gail Stafford is doing 3 classes, Landscape Minis, which is on the top right there, and just 2. One's a water scene and one's a wooded scene. Lakeside Azaleas, which is kind of an encore. I know she's taught this before at other EGA events. And then Tucson Sunset. And I have to say, I'm really excited about that one. Gail was telling me she didn't have any pictures of Tucson. So I started emailing her pictures of Tucson, and she chose one of my pictures to turn into a needlepoint. So I'm excited about that. Karen Wallach is going to be doing a traveling sewing box, similar to the ones that we've seen at other EGA during this presentation. And she's also doing a fiber science and wool applique, where you're going to learn how to dye your own wool. And so that should be a very whimsical and fun class. And Michelle Wood is going to do a lacing and finishing class. And this picture here kind of depicts just a possible project that you could stitch ahead of time, but we're really encouraging you to bring your own projects so that you can learn how to finish those along with Michelle's help. And then our virtual classes we've got one that's going to be before seminar in July with Margaret Bendig. And then the other 2 are going to be after our seminar. So the first, I don't have these in the right order. Clara Wolfshire is going to be doing her Sonora quail, and it's going to be a gold work hanging ornament, and that'll be after seminar. And Amanda Reimel is doing a Jacobian owl, and this is just, I think, really interesting crewel work that she's come up with. And then the class before seminar is Margaret Bendig's treasure box. And this is about a 4-inch square by 2-inch box that you'll be creating. And then I threw in some pictures that Jana said I shouldn't have them, but these are just pictures of the resort. I wanted you to see them just so you can see. This is right off the lobby here. All the bedrooms have a balcony and a mountain view. And we're going to have our EGA emblem shining on the mountain the whole week we're at seminar. And this is just, I put this map in here just to show you how consolidated. We're not going to have a lot of walking space. From this picture, off to your left and off to your right are the guest rooms. So you're going to be very close. I'm sure there'll still be people who will need scooters, but definitely much more concise. Registration for the entire week is $630, and hotel rooms are $159 a night. So if you're sharing, that's only $80. And if you go with having 4 in your room, you can even get it less than that. So it's going to be a very economical hopefully seminar for you. So I hope you can come and join us in September of 27 and join us and be inspired. So thank you, Jana.
Okay. And here we all are. We have a couple of questions. The first one goes back to the regions and really is for you, Ina. Linda wanted to know why wasn't SCR included? They are not the only region that was not included. Why? And you're muted, Ina.
We reached out to all the region directors and everyone received the same invitation. We followed up because several responded right away, several didn't. And then we got a list that region directors had provided the vice president on the board with. And so we reached out again to some of those folks. And it was basically, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make them drink. This was a great opportunity to publicize your region events, to get them out to a wider network. Lori, bless her heart, jumped right on it, and I was very excited about that, as did Pam with the national seminar. And all I can say is, I don't mean to throw all these RDs that didn't respond under the bus. We're all busy. We all lead busy, busy lives. And sometimes it's hard to communicate effectively because people are people and, they have lives and we're all volunteers. So, I'm sure that any RDs that didn't respond are probably kicking themselves. Or, they just want a very cozy event and just region members only.
You just don't know. The next question is for Lori about the Winter Stitch. Maria wanted to know if the Winter Stitch sessions will be recorded.
And I anticipated that question, and I don't have an all-encompassing answer because it's up to each teacher. I believe that most of the teachers will record and make them available for some period of time, but that was not a stipulation in their contract. So I'm going to have to go back and discuss what is their plan for that.
Is there a way on the Winter Stitch website to, once you find out, to put a note by each one so that we'll know which ones will be recorded?
That would be the goal.
Yeah, that can help with the planning.
Yeah. I know that Chrissy Juno Man was anticipating recording. And I mean, like I said, I've worked with Clara, so I would expect her to record hers. And I've worked with Holly Bean, who records hers. So I know that most of them are in the habit of recording. But even if they record, the length of time they will be available to the students will probably not be the same for each. So I need to confer, are they going to record? And then how long would they be available?
Okay. All right. And Pam, since you have some virtual classes for national in Tucson, do you have any information if those are going to be recorded?
I don't know. I will have to find out and let you know, and you can pass that on to the participants.
Okay. And what about the regions? I know Mar has virtual events. What about recording for them?
Again, like Lori, this was not defined in the contract, so I'll have to follow up and find out.
Okay. And other regions that had virtual events, or did that cover everything?
I can
Okay.
guarantee that we won't have a video on the cruise. Anything happens on the cruise, it stays on the cruise.
Thank you. That's good to know. All right. Anything else that we haven't covered? I don't see any. I do see one more question in the Q&A. Linda wanted to know, she said GPR just had the region seminar in July of 26. Our 2028 seminar will be in Sacramento and is just starting the planning. Please reach out to GPR again for 2028 offerings. Given how many people registered for this, I think we're going to have to do a 2028 preview probably about this time next year. Do you think, Ina? You're muted.
Yes, I think that's good.
Okay, because regions always have things going on. So the
Yes.
answer to that, Linda, we're not going to miss a beat on that. Yes, we will do everything we can to invite not only GPR but other regions if they have region events coming up and national events. So when the national seminar comes up for 28, we will invite that chair likewise. So, and maybe Winter Stitch, do you think, well, do you know if there will be a Winter Stitch for 28 or is the jury going to be out?
There's been conversation. I think it will be planned a little bit different. This one was planned by the National Seminar Committee. So not totally sure. I saw another question pop up about maximum number of students in Winter Stitch. Okay, that was also something that was available for each teacher to set the limit. So I think everybody is at 48 students except Chrissy Juno Mann and Clara Warshower. And they're more like in the 30, maybe the 30-ish, 30 to 35 students max in their classes. So if there's a class that you really want to take, you want to try and be at your computer on September 22nd at noon Eastern.
Jump on it. Jump on it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And Amy mentioned in the chat, SCR just finished in Dallas. 2027 will be a retreat seminar with mini classes. So that's for SCR. And I don't think I know GLR has no seminars planned for 27. They do a spring retreat and they do a fall retreat. And that generally goes out to GLR members and MALs. Okay, anything else? Any other questions? Anybody want anything else to say that maybe they thought they wanted to say but forgot to? No? Okay, Ina, you want to take us out?
All right. I will say this about seminars, whether they're regional or national, or even like region area workshops. They are great not only for learning, but also for the fellowship and the connection. I have made so many friends attending seminars and retreats, and it's just a special time. And so I hope all of you will take advantage of these offerings and attend as many as you can. It's been a pleasure. I hope you're all looking up airfares and revisiting the pictures. And hopefully I'll see some of you at some of these events. Thank you for watching. It's been a fun and our pleasure to present this.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you for those who took the time out of their schedules today to talk to everybody. Thank you.
Well done, Jen.
Thank you all.